Hi everyone, I'm not really going to be looking at the chat here. I am sharing this on, I don't know if you guys can hear me yet, but I am sharing this on minds.com, and this is pretty late today, even though it's daylight savings. So I'm expecting maybe some reaction tomorrow, if at all. I want to talk a little about something that happened on Friday. A friend of mine, stone cold Democrat, started uh, basically he started an argument about Paul Manafort and why Trump will be indicted, and how he said that uh, that the FBI and Robert Mueller are closing in on Donald Trump, and that his days are numbered. Um, Look, you can believe whatever you want. If you look at the actual indictment charge, there's nothing to show that that's actually what's happening. And it's gotten me to think that a lot of people here in the United States have given up on the idea of innocence until proven guilty, the presumption of innocence in a criminal trial, which there isn't yet. There is no criminal trial yet. There's not even an actual crime that's been named yet. All this talk about collusion and about um, fixing an election and Russian influence and all of that, it's not been actually named as a crime. Because in order to actually prosecute from somebody for a crime, you need to produce what do they call it? I think it's called just cause. But there is no the probable cause. There is no probable cause for an investigation here. Okay, that this is somebody who was embroiled in one of the most high-profile events of the past few years, an election, a national election in the most powerful country in the world, and they're trying to find probable cause that he cooperated with Russia. Well, eventually, I think that, and it's already started, this investigation is going to backfire on the people who called for it. The Everybody's been talking about how Podesta has been now under scrutiny from Mueller, and that Paul Manafort's crimes have actually gone back to before he was working for Trump, so they're not even that relevant, so to speak. I want to let you know, though, that even let's say that Paul Manafort is indicted and he gets thrown into prison. Well, so what? Do you know how many people have been thrown to the wolves because they're not high enough on the totem pole to really constitute an important resource for the leader in question? Have you heard? And I've talked about him in his own in the book review for his book, Webb Hubbell, for example, the associate attorney general under Bill Clinton. Associate attorney general, for those that don't know, is the third ranking official in the Justice Department of the United States. Well, he went to prison for double billing some of his clients over a few years at the Rose Law Firm where him and Hillary Clinton served. Of course, he got hired into Bill Clinton's White House. Yeah, he ended up going to prison. Did that bring down the Clinton regime? No. Should it have? Probably not. That wouldn't have been the straw that broke the camel's back. What Manafort would have to have done in order for people to really think that Trump could conclusively be impeached is that he would have had to um, directly or by way of a proxy have engaged with the Russian secret intelligence services or some other official at a high level there. There's no evidence of that yet in the context of the campaign. So the presumption of innocence, let me emphasize, presumption of innocence is indispensable in American criminal justice law. If we were to discard that and we start just going after people because we don't like their ideas, we don't like them, then yeah, our justice system becomes a kangaroo court, and there is no point in pretending that we're really a democracy. The courts have to remain independent and to some extent impartial with every trial that comes to the docket. And what the Democrats are doing, now I'll say, okay, so the establishment Democrats, let's not lump all the Democrats in there, but what establishment Democrats are doing is that they are taking uh, a false report of Russian influence on the election, and they're completely running with it. While they know that they're wrong, they know that there was no tangible proof that Russia did influence any votes. There's these Facebook ads that amount to, in the grand scheme of things, tens of thousands of dollars against Donald Trump. A lot of money was spent after the election, or they were actually spread in some cases to fund anti-Trump propaganda. So you can take it or leave it. I support a lot of the things Donald Trump does. I never really commit fully to a politician, but I think I respect definitely the job he's done so far with a lot of critiques about his Secretary of State and other officials in his administration. But when you have this assumption of guilt as opposed to assumption of innocence, is a problem. I mean, I do all these books about my Clinton library that I have behind me, all these books about all these crimes that they may or may not have committed. It would be very good for me, I'd say even spiritually, to see that the Clintons would be arrested or charged with something. I don't know if it'll ever happen, and it's important for people to accept that. I can accept the fact that given the broken political process, no, it's very possible she'll never see a courtroom, or B, any other form of discipline or punishment. And that's why, I almost titled this this video that there is no law enforcement in America. And that's the way that I feel sometimes. For these people, there is no law enforcement system. They skate through, there's always an excuse made. They buy the best lawyers that money can afford, and they get themselves off the hook. So that's it. Shorter video today. Leave your comments in the chat below, or in the not so much the chat, but put it in the comment section below. And that's all I have to say for tonight. Happy daylight savings time, and we'll talk again tomorrow.